This conference will now be recorded.
Hi friends, good morning in this Business Intelligence Master Program. So in today's session, we are going to talk about slowly changing dimension type 1 with surrogate key. Yesterday, we have discussed with hash value, right? So by using the hash functions, we have generated the hash value. So today we are going to see SCD1 with the surrogate key because we have some challenges with surrogate key. It's not exactly like how you do in hash, right? Because surrogate key, it is going to keep on increasing from the value which it has generated previously. So that's why what we need to do is we need to get the max value as of now, whatever max value we have in a target table, in dimension table. From that particular surrogate key value, we need to keep increasing. Okay, if you are daily running the pipeline, what happens in surrogate key you are mentioning, you just start from one, so it is keep generating from the key one. I don't want that, so right, so I want to increase this particular keys daily. Okay, how I need to increase these particular keys daily is, let's say today I have loaded 10 records, so it will just generate from 1 to 10. Next day, if I load 5 records, out of 5 records, 4 are the existing record, only 1 record is the new record. So it should identify these 4 existing records, and it should keep the same surrogate key for this particular 4 existing values. And for the new record, it should generate the 11 surrogate key 11. It should generate, meaning new value should be generated, but this new value should be a max value in a dimension table plus 1. Okay, so how to achieve this we are going to see in today's session. Okay, in today's session we will learn about scenarios and mapping data flow actions, estimations, prerequisite, required resources, and as you know, so demo, right? So we are going to see create data lake storage gen 2 and create SQL database, create Azure Data Factory v2. Then we will see how to create linked service for data lake storage gen 2, create linked service for Azure SQL DB, dataset pipeline, debug pipeline, run pipeline with the schedule trigger, and monitor pipeline. So whatever you have done in our earlier session, so same thing we are going to do in today's session. Okay. One second. Yeah. So now you see, with respect to the scenarios, we are going to see how to generate surrogate key. Okay, because we need to generate this surrogate key, but this surrogate key we need to generate from the place where we whatever max value we have in dimension table, that max value plus 1 we need to keep increasing. We should not generate every time from the 1 or every time from the 1 lakh, right? So we need to take the max value from the dimension table, and from there we need to keep increasing this particular value. Next, how to perform upsert using the alter row transformation. So you know already by using alter row we have performed the upsert. So we are going to see again today how you can use the alter row transformation to upsert records, and we are going to talk about SCDs, type like types of SCDs we are going to see. Then we are going to talk about type 0, type 1, and type 2. These are the 3 important things, and we have many more SCDs like up to type 6 we have, but we are going to talk about these 3 and mainly type 1 and type 2. Okay. In today's session, I am going to use a many transformations that we came across to as of today. So we learned a lot of things, but I'm trying to use all those transformation today. But there is an efficient way to do this particular lab, but I'm trying to use most of the transformations. Okay, see, source transformation I'm going to use, join transformation, select transformation, filter transformation, surrogate key transformation, union transformation, derive column transformation, alter row transformation, and sync transformation. If you look at today, The number of transformations that I'm going to use is total 9 unique transformation. Whatever we have in data flow, all those things I'm going to use today to build this particular lab. Okay. What is slowly changing dimensions? As we discussed yesterday, as the name suggests, SCD allows maintaining changes in the dimension table in the data warehouse. Dimension table example, customers, product, and calendar. All these are the examples I have given. Okay, customers, they may move, like their location may change very rarely. They may change phone number very rarely. They may change address very rarely. So products, new products may come rarely, and existing product quantities or existing product some details may change very rarely. So these all are the static values, but very rarely these values are going to change. So these dimensions will be there in a data warehouse. Okay, all these things we discussed. And SCD nothing but whenever something changed for this particular customer, for the product, we are going to take these changes and reflect in the dimension. How you are going to reflect these changes in the dimension is up to the customer. Whatever customer is expecting, whether you want to retain the history, then we are going to keep the history, plus we will add the current details. If you don't want history, what has happened doesn't matter for me, then we are going to keep only current data. These are dimensions that gradually change with the time rather than changing on regular basis. As we discussed, customers are not going to change their phone number or address in the same way. Product details we are not going to change regularly. These are going to change very rarely. When you implement SCDs, you actually decide how you wish to maintain historical data with the current data. So that's what, when you implement SCD, based on the customer, you are going to implement what customer is expecting, whether you want to maintain the history along with the current data or you want only current data. Dimensions present in the data warehouse. So if you want, so what we need to do is we need to create a data warehouse so we can able to load directly data into the data warehouse. Okay. Next, commonly used dimensions are customers, calendar, products, and so on. So all these things we discussed. Next, types of slowly changing dimensions. We have a type 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, but mainly type 0, 1, 2, and out of that type 0 also we won't do anything. So we'll talk about all those things slowly. Slowly changing dimension type 0, no changes allowed. Dimensions never change. Once you have created dimension, you are not going to change that dimension. That is nothing to type 0. What is type 1? Type 1 means new data overrides the existing data. Let's say one Rama Hyderabad you have now, like Rama has moved from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Now you are going to overwrite, you are going to just overwrite, you are going to update that particular entire details, and you are not going to keep the historical data. Okay, update new record with old record directly without saving the old record, without keeping the old record, just directly update new record with old record. This keeps only current data and does not maintain historical data. In SCD1, this is important. When somebody asks what is the difference between SCD1 and SCD2, you need to tell in SCD1, this keeps only current data. It does not maintain historical data. This is very important interview question, friends. The difference between SCD1 and SCD2, they will ask. Okay, try to understand. So SCD1 will not keep the historical data. It will keep only current data. It does not maintain historical data. Okay, example, we'll see this is the data. I have historical data. Now this is the, like, this is my dimension. This is the incremental data that I am receiving. Now these are the common records. When you check it, this is the common record. So when you just check matching record, what it indicates is, so this particular record has updated something. You can see here Bangalore has changed. Bangalore has, like, he was there in Hyderabad, now he moved to Bangalore, so I need to update this particular value from Hyderabad to Bangalore. I don't need to keep this entire record. Okay, so he is in Hyderabad from this time to this time. I don't need to save that particular history here. So you can directly just take this particular, like, take this entire record and overwrite here. Okay, so 1 and 3, 4 are the here old records. If you look at 5th, this is the new record. This is the new record. Okay, now you see 1, 3, 4 are the old records, 2 is updated, 5 is the new record. Okay, when you just created the dimension, you will see something like that. Don't worry, I will just generate the surrogate key and I will keep it here. But you see here one, like all these things, you look at the second customer, he was in Bangalore previously, but when I implemented SCD1, this particular city is updated. In the same way, 5th one is the new record, so 5th one is inserted into this dimension table. Okay, See here, second is the new record, and this fifth one is the new record. Okay, fine. So let's talk about SCD2. SCD retains the full history of values. Okay, when the value of chosen attribute change, the current record is closed. Okay, old record will be available in the dimension table, but that will be there as a inactive or closed record. Okay, a new record is created with the changed data values, and this new record becomes the current record. So whatever new data is coming, that will become a active record, or you can say that is the current record. Okay, each record contains the effective time and expiry time to identify the time period between which the record was active. Let's say one Rama Hyderabad, he was there from 2016 to 2020. So now suddenly in 2020 December he moved from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Now in SCD2 you are going to give the history. So one record you will have something like this: one Rama Hyderabad, start time from 2016 January, end time is 2020 December. And the next record you are going to insert saying that one Rama Hyderabad, and he started living from December 2020, and the end date you don't have anything, you are just going to keep it as a null. Okay, we'll see example. You have this. See here, end date is null for all these things. The reason is all these people started living from this particular date, but there is no end date. Okay, so yesterday we talked in a different approach. Today it's a different approach. Okay, incremental data. This is the incremental data. Now, if you look at this, so 2 is the matched record, and 1, 3, 4 are the old records. 5th is the again new record. Okay. Now, 1, 3, 4 are the old record. You see, 5th one is the new record, and here second is the updated record. When I implemented SCD2, you see here 2 Rama Srinu Hyderabad, and for him the started date is 2019 onwards, 2020 Feb 1st. Till Feb 1st he was there in Hyderabad. So now it is a inactive record, that's why 0. But where he is currently, 2 Rama Srinu, he is in Bangalore. He started living from 2020 Feb 1st. There is no end date because still he is in this particular location. But if you look at the 5th, 3rd, 4th records, all these people started living from these dates, but there is no end date because these people still living in that particular location. So here 2 is the existing record. If you see here 2 in this is the expired date, or you can say end date. Till this particular date he was there. From Excel this date he just moved to the Bangalore. Okay. No. So this is the 5th record which is new. Okay, friends. Let's move now. Overview diagram. See, overview diagram, this is how I'm going to implement today lab. So let me just explain quickly. One more thing also I'm using that I have not mentioned in our scenario. See, this is the like source. Okay, and this is the sink. If you look at the sink one, it seems like I'm not using the sink one anywhere. If you look at here, see, there is no reference point for sink one, because whatever data I'm reading from source, whatever I'm receiving, that data I'm caching. Caching is nothing but Spark is an in-memory computation. So whatever data you're going to use commonly, that data you can able to keep it in memory, so that you can able to process data quickly. So what I'm going to do, whatever data I'm getting, that data I'm going to keep it in a cache. I'm just keeping in a memory. That is nothing but a caching. So I'm just whatever data I'm getting from source one, that data I'm just caching. Okay, that will be there in my memory. Okay, remember this is done. What value I have cached is max value from the dimension table I have cached. Okay, let's say yesterday first time we have loaded 4 records, so we generated 1 lakh 1 2 3. Okay, now we have 1 lakh 3. That is the our last value which we have max value. That value I have stored here. Remember, this is a my incremental data, this is a my dimension again. So these two I am just joining with a left outer join. Left outer join means common records plus left records you'll get. Here, see, from the source, one second. Yes, I am just using the left outer join. So what is meant by left outer join, friends? Left outer join means common records plus new records, right? Sorry, common records plus only records available in a left table. Now my left table is my source, my incremental data. My right table is the dimension table. Now common records between the dimension table, common records between the source, plus all remaining records from the source you will get. Ultimately, you can say all records from the incremental data plus common records from the dimension data you will get. That is the result. Okay, I will take that result. And I'm just taking the common records. How to filter out common records? We talked about something called is null, right? So if you apply is null, you will get only the records which are available in this particular table, in the source, not in the dimension. Now I'm just taking here unmatched record. Unmatched means only the common records from source and sink I'm taking here. Okay, see here, I think 1 second. This is null, not null. Yeah, here I am taking the common records. Let's say example, in this dimension I have 1 2 3 4. Okay, here I am just passing 1 2 5. So I'm just repeating once again. Please try to answer me. Here I have a 1 2 5. Here I have 1 2 3 4. When I apply left outer join, what values I will get in my output? What values I will get in my output? I'm repeating once again. In this source incremental data, I have 1 2 5. Here I have 1 2 3 4. So if I apply left to join, left table is this source incremental data, right table is this. What records I will get in my output?
1 2 sir 3 5.
1 2 5.
Very good. I will get 1 2 5. Okay. Please try to understand, friends. I will get 1 2 5. Okay, you understood 1 2 5 because see here you have 1 2 5. Here you have 1 2 3 4. What is the common records? 1 2 are the common. Okay, in this table, what is the remaining record? Fifth one, right? So I will get a 1 2 5. Now, out of which, what are the common records? 1 2 are the common records. So out of this, if I want to get a common records, what I can do? Right table, one of the column, if I take and if I apply a not null, if I apply a not null, I will get the common record. Okay, don't worry, practical I will show you. And all those common records I'm just taking and selecting the required columns instead of taking all columns from list or dimension, all columns from the incremental data. I'm just selecting the required columns. Okay, this is keep here as like that. Now come to join. So I'm taking same data here. I'm just taking unmatched record. Unmatched record means the record which is available in the source alone. Here we have a 5, but here we don't have fifth one, right? So for these all dimension columns, you'll get null, null, null in the join. So here, if I want to get only fifth record, I can just simply apply a filter saying that right table column is null. Wherever right table column is null, that particular record I can able to take in pass. Okay, now what you will get only the new records from your source. Again, I'm just removing removing the unwanted columns. Then I'm just generating the surrogate key. When you generate a surrogate key, there is no option to say please generate like dynamically. You cannot do anything. You need to fix it something. So that's why I'm just using surrogate key to generate values from 1 and so on. Okay, next derived column. Okay, this is a derived column. This is what? This is a derived column. Now in this derived column, what I will do, I will take the max key. What is the max value? Max value, let's say 3. Max value is, let's say, 3. So as of now you have loaded let's say you have 4 values, 1 2 3 4. Now max value is 4. Surrogate key is going to generate a 1. So this side you are getting only new records. Please remember, this side you got the common records. This side I am getting only the new record. In this new record, surrogate key is nothing but a. Here I am going to get the value 1. This one I am going to add it to this max value. Max value is, let's say, 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. That 5 I will assign to that surrogate key column. and then I have the surrogate key column value for this, and here also we are going to combine these two. I'm just unioning, see, select two, and this output I'm just unioning. Okay, I got the final result, common records plus new records with the surrogate key. I have all the records in this union. Then I'm just removing the surrogate key column because this is not required anymore for me. I already completed joining. Okay, so like before you join itself, you can just remove it because it doesn't require for us. Okay, it is not required for us. So you just remove this select like that particular key column, surrogate key column before you join. Anything is fine. And once I remove that particular surrogate key column, then I'm going to say alter row. Each row I am going to prepare for the upsert, and I will do a upsert in my dimension. Upsert means if the key is matching, it is going to update it. If the key is not matching, it is going to insert it. So I know it is a little bit difficult for you to understand. Okay, but do not worry. When I am just explaining each, when I'm just doing the lab, I will explain each and every point in detail. Okay. Fine. So I know so many of you are having the confusion, lot of confusion that will be there. Don't worry. But ultimately, when I'm showing all these things, you will be able to understand very comfortably because you already know join. You already know surrogate key. Yesterday we have seen derived column. We know union. You know alter row. You know. Even if you don't know, don't worry because you try to understand every day. I'm just starting from the scratch. You try to understand. Okay. Execute data flow, from the pipeline activities, data flow activity we will use to execute it, but data flow debug should be turned on to execute this particular data flow activity. Okay. So, but if you want to trigger this particular thing, job cluster will be created. For that, data flow debug may not like it's not required you to turn on. Okay. Next, mapping data flow action. You see, you have join, conditional, exist, union, all those things, out of which we are going to use today join, union we are going to use. But see, when you're using join, instead of join, you can use exist, you can use the lookup for whatever things we are going to do. Same thing, you can achieve it by using lookup and exist as well. Okay. But we already discussed the difference between exist. Then we talked about lookup and join. We discussed the difference between join and lookup as well. Okay, derived column we are going to discuss today. Select we are going to discuss. Surrogate key we are going to discuss today again. Okay, mapping data flow. Here today we are going to talk about filter and alter. These two also we are going to discuss today. Okay, anyhow short So estimations one linked service. So I'm going to create a one data like storage gen 2, one SQL server. So two linked services I need. Depends on reference points. I need to create data sets, one data flow, one pipeline, and I need a Azure IR to dispatch the job. Okay, so data lake storage gen to all these things we are aware, right? So SQL database, keyword, data factory, data flow, debug, schedule, trigger, linked source, data set, activity pipeline. Now required resources. Okay, so we need to create data lake storage gen 2 and Azure SQL DB, Azure Key Vault, and Azure Data Factory V2. Okay, so these are the resources I will go and create quickly. Okay, let's see like how to create these things quickly. But we already know Snowflake, right? So Snowflake also we know. So what you can do, you can maintain your table using the Snowflake as well. Okay, that's all, friends. So let's quickly go and do the demo because let's not waste much time. Yeah, let's start with the SQL database because if I created the data warehouse, it will take more time. Let's click add to create the SQL database. Okay, so let's do one thing because again there will be a problem. So let me create the data warehouse itself, friends. Okay. Okay, because ultimately you need to understand how to load data into data warehouse. We already have seen how to load data into the database. So let's try it with the data warehouse today. Okay. Free trial a resource group. Let me create here. Both are same, right? The only thing is, instead of database, we are using database. Okay, this is a cloud equal DW and server. Let's create server. And click OK. So performance level here, it's not like DTUs. Here you have a scale, you just have to say. So I don't want more than 200 C. Okay, even it is costly. Let's try to use only 1000 C. Okay, just click click apply. So it's just 99 rupees per hour. Just click create. So it is initializing the deployment. Okay, it will just take some 10 to 15 minutes. It will take. Okay, let's wait. Meanwhile, let's create other resources and then we will start our data flow debug. Meanwhile, our data warehouse will be ready. Okay, from here, let's click on data factories. Click data factory. Select the same resource group and name of the data factory cloud and ADF v2. This is not available. Okay, configure git later. Click review plus create. Click create. Okay, now come here. Let's create now storage account. Go to storage account. Click add to create the storage account. It's a resource group. Let's select the resource group and storage account name. I'll say cloud pandit ADF cloud pandit ADLS v2 store. Click git configuration, all those things. In advanced tab, you just enable the hierarchical namespace. Click review plus create. One second, friends. Okay, let's create Azure keyword now. Click on keywords. Click add keywords. Select this resource group and keyword name, let's say cloud pandit AKV 1230. Access policies. Let's add access policy. Select this. Let's click select to add our data factory. Oh, I have given 1229. Huh? Today 30, right? Okay, by mistake I have given 1229. That's okay. Just go with that. Click add. Click create. Okay. Now I have created all the required resources for us, isn't it? Okay. So this is our source. So my dimensions will be there in a data warehouse. So by using a data factory, we are going to do that, and to store all our passwords, we are creating the keyword. Okay. Now let's open our data factory meanwhile. Let's go to the author tab. Turn on data flow debug. Okay. So let me just say it should be available for 2 hours. Okay, don't worry, it will not take 2 hours, it will take max 1 hour, okay, for us. But let me just keep it for 2 hours so that we will not have any issues in video. Now let's go to the storage account and we will prepare the data, and let's upload some data into the storage account. Okay. Now come down, click on containers, click container. This is a cloud container. Oh, sorry. So I'll say my folder name is customer. Let's say customer instead of customer. Create it. In this particular customer folder. Okay, in this particular customer folder, go inside customer folder, and I will upload some data. Okay, what data I will upload, you see. So this is the data we have, right? So initially we are going to load this data, first 4 record. Okay, let's come here, click upload, click here, go to customers, click open, click upload. Okay, so customers.csv. Okay, so this is the file I have. Now let's yeah, this is the CSV file we have uploaded. Come back, click on access keys. Okay, so show keys. So this is the key. I need to store it in Azure key one. Copy this, come to Azure key vault, go to resource. Let's click on secrets, click generate / import. So let me give here ADLS key. So same key I will paste it here, then click create. Okay, in the same way, go to data warehouse, so it will take some more time. Okay, meanwhile, let's try to create the linked services, everything for our data like storage. Okay, come to data factory, go to manage tab, let's click new. Okay, so gen 2 data like storage gen 2, click continue. This is ls for ADLS gen 2. Yeah, account key I want to enter manually. So key I need to read it from the Azure key vault. Just say Azure key vault. Yeah, let's connect to the Azure key vault first. So create a linked service for Azure key vault AKV, and subscription is this, and linked service. Sorry, Azure key vault is this one. Click create. Now we need to select the secret name. If you remember, ADLS key is the secret name. It's a case insensitive, as I mentioned earlier. Now go to store name. So this is the storage name. Come here. Let's form the URL. https://dfs.core.windows.net/test connection. Connection successful. You can create it. Then you can publish all. Okay, click publish. because once we create the key vault, before you reference to any other linked service, we need to publish, because directly on the fly we have created the linked service for Azure Cloud. Now come to author tab. Let's create a data set for our source as well, because we will try to prepare everything for our source. Okay, like meanwhile our data warehouse will be created. Click continue, CSV, click continue. This is what this is a DS for Azure keyword. DS for ADLS Gen 2. It's a customer CSV. Use this linked service. First as header. Okay. File system. Yeah, let's select that particular file. Customer. Let's select this. Click OK. Then click OK. Okay, fine. Yeah. So data flow debug is also available. We created the linked service for data lake storage Gen 2 dataset for data lake storage Gen 2 data warehouses. Still, it is going to take some more time. Let's wait, friends. Okay, let's wait, because I can able to explain with the database, but we already learned with the database already. So that's why, even if it is taking some time, let's wait. We initialized, like we launched, we submitted deployment at 7:59. I think it is almost 10 minutes. I think it will be available next within 5 more minutes. Okay, we'll see.
Malaya, is there any issue? I guess. Can you check once? Any internet issue?
No issue, Murli. It will take 20 minutes. Don't worry. Just wait. Okay, so data warehouse is ready now. Okay, just click go to resource. Yeah, so here also exactly same things, right? We already done that. So go to firewalls, add client IP, allow Azure resources and services to access this, save it. Okay, now next thing that we need to do is go to overview page, take the server name. Okay, come here, let's click here. So same tool you can use, right? So just give server here, let me enter username, password, my data warehouse name is this. Just give this, click on it. Okay. Click new query. Click new query. Okay, so I am here. If you look at the tables, we don't have any tables, okay, because we have not created. Okay, let's create a table without any data. Okay. Yesterday we created, yeah, this is the one, right? Let's create this. Okay, I'm just creating this particular key. So surrogate key value, I'll just say this is a number, right? So I can say big int. So it's a big int. Okay. So let's run it now. So yesterday we created this. An expression cannot be used with the default constraint. Specify only constant for a default constraint. Let's select everything and run it. This is data warehousing, right? So maybe let's do one thing. Let's remove this update date column itself because we don't require that. Just run it. Okay, I created the table. Now we'll see what columns we have in it. Select the star from dim underscore custom. Okay, and run it. You see, you have a customer surrogate key, cust ID, cust name, manager, city, and start date. Okay, so these are the columns that I'm going to have in my dimension table. Okay, fine. Come here. Go to connection strings. Take this connection string. You know, right? Again, you need to replace the password here. Just to replace the pass. Okay. Let me just replace the password here. Go to Azure keyword, click generate / import. You can say SQL data warehouse connection string. Create it. Come to data factory. Go to manage tab. Click on linked service. Okay, let's say it's a Synops. The names are changing. I'm not sure what is the name now. Yeah, Azure Synops Analytics. Click continue. Let's say LS4 Azure SQL DW data warehouse. Okay. So I need to read the connection string from the keyword. Just use this connection string. SQL DW connection string. Test the connection. Connection successful. You can create it. Okay. Now come to author tab. Let's create a data set, new data set. So to where Synops. Okay, Synops Analytics. Click continue. This is DS for is equal to AW dim custom. Okay. Select the linked service for this particular data warehouse. Select the table which we have created just now. Okay, this is the table which you have created. Click OK. Now let's create a data flow. Click new mapping data flow. Click data flow. Click OK. Fine. Let's click add source. Click on this. This is basically get max surrogate key. Okay, so this is my transformation source. I'm going to get the max surrogate key. How to do that? For that, you need to use a dim cust data set, and in that data set you selected the table, but go to source, don't select table because I need to get the max key. For that I need to fire a query. How to fire a query? For that, come back to here. Let me show you how to write a query. Max key, how to get it? From dim underscore cust. From dim underscore cust I need to get the max key. Max key of what? This particular column. Cust underscore underscore key. Okay, so this particular max key value I need to say max value, something like that, and just run it. You'll get null. Okay, because the reason is you don't have any data in this. Okay, just take this query. I'll just paste it here. Okay, I'll just paste it here. So now you see, just click import projection. So because it should execute this and it should generate a max value column. Okay, that's why you need to say import projection. See, it is generated get max surrogate key. Come to data flow or data preview, just refresh it. Okay, see here, you got a null. The reason is you don't have any max value. Okay, but still, whether I have a value or not, because next time onwards I'll get that value, I need to store this value in a cache. Okay, how to do that? Just go to sync. So in sync side, basically, if you want to store it in a particular folder or particular table, you will select data set. If you want to store it in a memory, you need to select cache. You select cache. Okay, next come to mapping. So settings here. Okay, this is basically if you are joining this particular value with all other columns, then you need to select the column. So in SCD2 you will see this, but in SCD1 that is not required for us. In mapping, you just uncheck this and check. So what is your output column? Your output column is max value. Okay, let it be. Come to data preview and refresh this and check what value you are getting here. Still you will get a null value because you don't have any data in dimension table. Okay, null. Okay, fine. This is okay. So because every time I need to get the max value, that is important for me. So you can say cached max. So you can give cached max key. So this is the name I am giving because this is what I have cached it, right? So cached max key. Now click on add source. So I'm just reading my incremental data. My incremental data is this. Okay. Let's come to projection. You see the data types, custody, and just change it to integer. Cust name, let it be string managers. Okay. This should be the timestamp. Okay, let's select timestamp and come to data preview, refresh this. I'm just reading the data from my source. Okay. Meanwhile, it generate the data. I'll just add my sync data. My target I need to read this time. Okay, this is the dim cust I'm reading. Entire table I'm reading. Okay, I just selected table. Then come to data preview. So just refresh here also. So here refresh button is turned on means already data is available in this particular source. You see source, we have 4 records, so 4 records it is showing. So dim cust table, I'm just trying to get the data from that. We'll see. See no output data because you don't have any data in this particular dim cust. Okay, now let's try to do join. Join on what? I'll just say left outer join. So when I apply left outer join, can you tell me what values I will get? Okay, see my left table is let me just say here, let me just change the name to incremental records, incremental data. You can say incremental data. This name I will just change it to dimension data. Okay, it's a incremental data. This is a dimension data. I'm just come to join. Okay, join. I'll say left outer join and just applying the left outer join. In this incremental data is left 15. My dimension data is my right string. Now all the common records from dimensions and incremental data plus all the remaining records in the dimension table, all the remaining records from the incremental data I will get it. See here, the symbol indicates all records in incremental data plus common records from the dimension data you will get it. Now if you go to data preview, so it is showing this because we need to put the condition. So based on what key you are going to identify, this side custody, this side custody. If these both are matching, bring the matching records. Even if the keys are not matching from the left table, give me the left records as well. That's why see here, entire records from the left table plus matching records with respect to the right table. Now come to data preview. Let's refresh this. So we know we are going to get only left records because only incremental data. We don't have any data in a dimension level. Okay. See, Here, if you look at here, you see cust ID, cust name, manager. You have again a manager. This is basically from the dimension table. Okay, this is city, this is city. But I have small problem here because I'm not able to understand which columns from source, which columns from my destination. That's why I'll just delete this. I'll just rename the columns first. Click select, click select. So let's rename all the columns. So this is source, right? I'll just say src underscore. For all the source columns, I will say src. Okay. So rename incremental columns I renamed. Okay. Now just click here. Here also, if you want to rename, you rename it. Okay. Just click on this. Yeah, let's say here dim underscore. Okay, fine. Now click on this, click join. So same thing, I'm just selecting left outer join. My left table is incremental data. My right table is yeah, I need to rename this one. So I'm just renaming this. Instead of select, I'll say rename dimension calls columns. Okay, calls is nothing but columns. Come to join. See, rename incremental columns is my left table. Rename dimension calls is my right table. Okay. Now see, I'm just joining these two. I'm joining these two. Go to data preview. So shit. We need to add the condition. Let's add the condition here. So source customer ID should match to the dimension customer ID. Okay. So then I can consider it's a common record. Otherwise, I will consider as a only records which are available in the left table. Come to data preview, refresh it. Okay, you see here what has happened here. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the source like incremental records. These four. So respective columns are null. Okay, because there is no matching record. So here two things may happen. One is maybe matching record you may find. Second one is maybe you may not have a matching record. Now what I will do to get matching records, I will say where dimension cust surrogate key, or you can say where dimension cust ID is not null. Wherever it is not null, meaning this side also you have data, this side also you have data, meaning that is a matching record. Okay, so that's what I'm going to apply filter. First filter is going to be so common records. I'll take the common records. How to take the common records? You see, it's a match records, match the data. You can see match data. So match data, I will get something like this. You see now, I will say is the null. So is null if the dimension column is null. So can you tell me if the dimension column is null means what you will get? You will get only the records which are available in the left table, not a common records. Now to get a match records, I need to reverse this particular returned output. Is null will, so is null of dim city if the dim city is having some data. Okay, if the dim city is having some data, what happens is finally it is going to return true. The reason is null. What is null will do? If the dim city is null values, it will return true. Okay. In that case, what I'm doing, I'm just asking to return it as a true. If it is returned true, you see now match records. Do you have any match records here? You don't have. Come to data preview and refresh. You will not get anything because you don't have any matched records. You don't have any matched records. See, not is null. This condition basically what it will do, it is exactly is not null. If the dim city is not null, such type of records I'm getting. But if you look at here, so it is going to be dim custody is going to be null. Dim custody is going to be null if the record is available only in the source. If it is an unmatched record, then this is going to be a null. If this is having some data, means it's a matched record. That's why I'm saying if there is no data here, okay, if there is no data here, see is null. First I'm applying is null. If there is no data here, get it as a true. It will give the true. Is null function, what it will return? True. But even if it is returning a true is null, outside I'm using a not. What not will do? Inside if you get a true, it will make it as a false. Inside if you get a false, it will make it as a true. Now what happens? Exactly your condition will become reverse. Now you are trying to identify is null here. Okay, so is null. So is null means yes, it is a true. But final condition will get a false. False means except these records, I want to get all other records. What it means? All the matching records I will get. If you go to data preview, you see no output data. Now what I need to do, I'll just take the new branch. See, new branch also we are going to use today. New branch, I'll take a new branch. So in this new branch on same join data, now I'm going to apply another filter to get the only records which are available in the left table. Okay, only the records which are available in the left table I will use. So you can use the exist basically, but I'm using joins. You can use anything. Okay, there are multiple ways to do that. So apply filter. This filter is basically for what? This filter is basically for what? This filter is basically to get unmatched records. Or you can say insert the records. These are the insert records which are available only in the source. How to do that? Come to here and put a condition. What is the condition? Is null. Is null if the dimension column is null. The dimension column is null. Anything, it may be city or whatever. Dimension custody, you can say. Okay, if the dimension custody is null, the dimension custody is null, what it means? Okay, dimension side it is showing null, meaning it's a new record which is coming from the source. That's why it is not available in the dimension. Now you see all 4 records will be available here. See 4 records you got. Now for these 4 records I need to generate a surrogate key. Click on this. Okay, let's go with the surrogate key. Okay, so let me just start from 1 and the key column. Okay, what is the key column? You can say surrogate key. It's a surrogate key. I'm just getting the surrogate key. So but this surrogate key will be added 1 2 3, but sometime, so this is the historical data, so there won't be any issue. But later it should not start with 1, it should take the max value plus 1, it should add. For that I'm going to use a derive column. A derive column. Yeah, before that let me just show data preview. Refresh this. See, surrogate key is it is generated in the last, I think. Yeah, surrogate key is 1 2 3 4. But later it should not be 1 2 3 4. Later in incremental data it should not be 1 2 3 4. That's why the behavior of this surrogate key column I need to change. How I am going to change? By using a derive column. I will say just use a, maybe you can say current under cust underscore surrogate underscore key. Put the expression. So for easy understanding I'm writing like this. Now you need to put a condition. What is the condition? Is I need to add 2 values. Okay, surrogate key value plus max key. What is the max key as of now? max key is a 0, but how to get max key? So I just cached it, right? So go to cached lookup, click on cached max key. So on this you need to say outputs. Okay, so outputs. So once you just say output, just refresh it and check what it is returning. What it is returning? It is not returning anything. It is not returning anything because there is no value as of now. There is no value as of now. That's why it is not returning anything. But so in this I need to take a first column. Okay, because if you remember, if you remember friends, what happened is in this yeah. So if you remember, oh shit, let me just cancel this. Let's click again expression builder. This. Okay, now okay, see here, I'm writing this. Okay, fine. Here, so what you need to do, as you don't have any data in your dimension table, that's why you're getting a null. But you need to select this in this cached outputs. In this cached outputs, okay, you can have you can cache multiple columns, out of which column you want. First column. Okay, what is that first column name? So what is the first column value? That is max value. Okay, let's go and check whether it's a max value or not. I will come back and I will change this once again. But whether it is a max value or not, how to verify? Go to cached value, go to data preview. You see, is it a max value or not? It's a max value, isn't it? So that max value I need to use here. I used. I'll get a null here. I will get a null value. So null value you cannot concatenate with one. Null value you cannot concatenate with one. So now what I will do, I will use something called case statement. You see something called, you have a case statement. What case will do, you see case. Okay, if it is true, if something is true, then it will return first value, otherwise it will return second value. Okay, what I will do in this case, I will say if this value is null, if the value is null, or you can say equal, yes, is the null. You have a function called is null. So if you are checking if this particular max value is null, if it is a null, I need to start with 0. Max value should be 0, right? So if it is a null means I'll say, okay, there is no value in that, so you just consider 0. Then I am going to say, okay, I need to start surrogate key from the 1 2 3 4, something like that. Okay, otherwise if it is not a null value, just pass whatever max value you have, okay, that value I'm going to pass it. So for this particular value, I'm going to add my surrogate key value. Here is my surrogate key. Just take the surrogate key value spelling mistake. Okay, this is fine. If it is a null, I will return 0, otherwise I will return this. But what it is written, its outputs correct. This is going to return same value outputs dot max value. So let me just say integer. So make sure, so it may return some null value. Null value it may not return, but so make sure it should return an integer. So I'm just converting this value to the integer. So that is what the warning. Okay, so I'm just converting this return value to the warning. I just converted to warning. Now come to data preview. Let's refresh this and see what value it is returning. So don't worry if you're not able to understand, you will be able to understand when I'm showing the incremental data. But I thought of loading data, historical data first, and the thought of showing you. But you will think, oh, you already loaded historical data. That's why I'm just explaining without loading anything. See now, cust surrogate key, you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is what you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4. You are getting okay. But you no need to have these many columns. You can use the existing things, but for easy understanding, I'm trying to add all the columns. But as you get some, as you practice, you'll come to know you can use the existing columns. Okay, now we got the required columns. Now I'll just remove all the unwanted columns. I'll just remove all the unwanted columns now. You see how I'm going to remove all the unwanted columns. Come here. So because you just look at here, so source customer ID, source customer name, source manager, source city, source start date. You need to have all this data from source because it's an incremental data. Whatever is coming from source, you need to pass it to the destination. But dim custody, you don't need to pass dim cust ID, you need to pass dim cust name, you don't need to pass dim manager, you don't need to pass city, you don't need to pass start date, surrogate key, you don't need to pass this particular cust surrogate key, you need to pass cust underscore surrogate key, you need to pass. And here also I'll just say, I'll just rename this one to the cust ID. I'll just rename this one to the cust name, and this is I'll just rename to manager and rename to city. This one also can rename to the start date, and this can be a cust surrogate key. Okay, this is how the things come to refresh. So it is going to do. So now you see you have only 6 columns here. 6 columns will come. You can see in inspect also you have only total 6 columns. Okay, now go to your match data. Here also, if you look at here also we have only, oh, you have a lot of columns. Here also I'll just filter out these columns also. So once this data is available, yeah. Now you see data is clean and neat. Surrogate key is generated 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are custodies 1, 2, 3, 4, Thiru, Ram, all these things we have. This data is the new data. This should be inserted, but you may have a updated data. Just come here. See, a lot of columns we have in updated also. Let me just select the required columns and unnecessary columns. Let me remove it. It's updated, right? So updates also I need to pass it from the source column. Source data meaning whatever data is coming coming now, that is the latest data. That's why I need to consider this. Let me just stop this. Start date, dim city, all these things. So but dim cust surrogate key, whatever surrogate key we have in our dimension, same key should be passed. The reason is it's updated. Surrogate key is not going to update. Surrogate key is going to be same, but other details may update. Okay, that's why let it be. And I am just renaming all these things. Now come here, just click on select. You can use here union or you can say here union. Okay, anything will work. Okay, just apply union wherever you want to apply. So union. So union, which two streams you want to union? Select two, and I need to union with the select one. Okay, this is the one. These are two. These two I want to union, and finally data preview you can able to do. We have a final records now. We have a final records available. Okay, these are the records. But you see here, just surrogate key. Oh, I need to rename this also. It should be renamed to cust underscore surrogate key. It should not be dim underscore cust, right? So click refresh now. You should have a same number of columns. You will not have any column extra. So you have exactly only 6 columns you have. Okay, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, all this data you have. Now all this data I need to prepare for the upsert. Just click alter row. Okay, in this alter row you can say upsert if there is no condition. Every record is eligible for the upsert. So I'll just say everything is ready, true. Save and finish. Now I need to write it into the sync. Select the sync. Okay, in this sync, first thing that we need to do is we need to go to settings. Go to sync. Select the your data set. Which data set? Let's say dimcast is the my data set. In this data set, what I need to do, it's not an insert, it's an upsert. So how you will identify it's updated record is based on the customer ID. So select the customer ID column. Okay. So if you want to preview their data, yes, before, so sometimes it will throw error. In that case, come to mapping, auto mapping disable. You can disable auto mapping, check it, everything is fine. Yes, everything is fine. Now come to data preview. If it is showing something like this, do one thing, come to mapping, just say reset once. Come to data preview. Throw like this only. First ID I selected, everything is fine. Basically, again auto mapping, mapping. Yes, see, it is available. I have not done anything. It will just take some time to refresh. You just have to take care of this mapping. Okay, do something, auto mapping, unmapping, refresh 1 or 2 times. It will be available. It will show the data. Okay, so data came here. So now everything is fine. Go to pipeline. Okay, go to the PL4. Okay, come to data preview, data flow. Select this data flow. Then click OK. Go to settings. Okay, this is the data flow one. So all other things you know. Okay, so see here automatically it is asking you to enable the staging. What is the reason is if you go to your data flow, it is the data set. Select this data set. Open this data set. Yeah, so as you are loading data into your data warehouse, right? So it is asking you to enable the staging, you see. So for this, so it is just asking you to enable the staging. Okay, so what we will do, we will let's try to load it as a bulk insert, not a we will try to do a bulk insert, not a polybase, right? So that's why I'll just say debug. So recommended staging, storage path. I think a data warehouse, it is not allowing us to do. Yeah, in Spark there is no direct way, so that's why it is asking us to enable the staging. Staging means you just select some storage. Okay, let's do one thing. Go to storage account. I will tell you what you need to do for the staging. We already done it, but let's do once again. Go to containers. Create a container called temp path or staging path. This is a kind of a temp path. Okay, create it. Now come to data factory. Select the linked service, same linked service, browse it and select the folder which we have created, temp path. Okay, click OK. Understood? Okay, so I just selected the staging path. Now let's try to debug it. So job I have submitted, we'll see it is going to take this job, and come here, let's say select the star from dim cast. You see you don't have any data now. Data flow is running now. Just refresh this. Okay, so let's click on this to see whether job is running, still waiting for the resources. They still saying acquiring compute. Refresh here once. Let's go back. So it is running now. It is running. So keep refreshing here to see. I will tell you some performance improvement that we can able to do in this. So cached max key is completed. So it is cached the data. So sync one is written. Now overall status will be successful because it has written the data into our target. Okay, status it will update in some time, but meanwhile let's go and run it. Now you see we have all this data, isn't it? We have all this data. But if you look at here, the surrogate key is generated randomly. Randomly means it will generate in a order, but it is not exactly as how you are passing the records. Okay, so whatever record it is displaying, because when you do joins, when you apply some transformations, record will not be in a same order based on customer ID, right? So it will not be in a some order based on customer ID. So if you want to generate surrogate key based on customer ID order, particular order, let's say wherever customer ID, first customer ID record is there, I want to generate surrogate key 1. Wherever I have a second customer ID, so I need to generate 2. In that case, you need to sort it, then you need to generate the surrogate key. But ultimately, you see, unique keys generated for all the records. It doesn't matter with the customer ID. Okay, unique keys generated. Now, you see what I will do. I will take this particular data. Here, currently, it's a Hyderabad. For second record, you see, it's a second record, it's a Hyderabad. Okay, and first record I'm not changing anything anyhow. First record I'm not changing anything. Second record I'm changing from Hyderabad to Bangalore, and the fifth record is the completely new record. Now we'll see what will happen. Let me just take this, go to storage, go to customers, open this customer.csv, click edit. Let me just paste it here, save it. Okay, save. Now come to data flows. Data is subsidiary. Now again I'm just debugging. So now we'll see incremental things are going to happen or not. Okay, we'll see. A job is started running. Let's click on this to see. Select query complete. Okay, let's wait. Let's click on this. Still lack query complete. What's the issue with this data flow? Okay, if it is taking this much time, it will fail, friends. So we need to, I think, resubmit our job. Yes. Acquiring company, because it did not get the cluster to execute this AI transformation. Okay. So yeah, so better we can cancel and we can resubmit. I will explain once again all the things. Okay, once I execute everything, I will explain. We know, don't worry. It will throw error saying that you have a data flow issue, data flow debug issue. So almost a timeout error. It should get by now, but it did not get any resources. You can see we will get a error, timeout error. It should get by now, but still. Yes, so I think better we can cancel and resubmit. Yeah, let's cancel this ourselves. I just cancel this. It's a debug state. Let's debug once again. If it is not working, then we can turn off and turn on the data flow debug. But let's see. I just to resubmit the job. See. Okay, let's wait for 1.5 minute or something. If it is still waiting for acquiring resources, then we can stop and start the data flow debug. Okay, there's no other choice. Seems it is not going to work. We need to restart our yeah. We need to stop and start the data flow debug. So it is not picking still. Okay, let's stop it and start the data flow debug once again. Okay, let's wait for some time. Meanwhile, let's publish all. Okay, publish. Okay, so data flow debug is available now. Let's click debug once again. Okay, job is created. Now it is running. Okay, it is running now. Let's click on this to see whether resources is allocated. Still acquiring compute. Okay, it is running now. Refresh this. Okay, so it has cached the data. Now it is doing the transformation and it has written the data to the sink. Okay, now come here. So let's open Excel first. So here I will just let me just take this data first and store it here. Now I'll just execute this. Now you will get a new data. Okay, you got the new data. Let's check it. So see here, this is the new record. Okay, Shiva Koti Mumbai. Okay, this is the new record. Okay, that's why this is inserted and surrogate key is 5. But if you look at to Krishna, okay, this is the same record, right? No, which one we have changed from Hyderabad to Bangalore? Yeah, for customer ID 2, right? For this record, we have changed from Hyderabad to Bangalore. You see in output, are you able to see it's a Bangalore or not? Yes, it's a Bangalore. Okay, here it's a Hyderabad, but it's a Bangalore. Next one, Thiru Srikant Delhi. This record you see one Thiru Srikant Delhi. It's came as this. Okay, the time format. This okay. If you want to change it to the format, you can change it. But the dates, everything will be same because those dates did not change. I think we have not changed those dates. So if you want to check. Okay, now you see dates, everything came here. But you have seen the data has like it is just taking the updates, updated records, it is updating, and the new records it is inserting. Okay, now let's go back here, and this time what we do, and I'll just, this is a third run. In this run I'll just explain once again entire flow so that you'll have some clarity. This is the fifth record, right? Okay, fifth record I will say Mumbai to you can say, what you can do is you can say Pune. In Mumbai to Pune, he has changed fifth person, and who came recently. This is the sixth record. Okay, this is the sixth record. In the sixth record, I will say you can say your Ramesh name we will use here. Okay, here we can say Chaitanya. Okay, so he's from, let's say, Hyderabad. So same date, today date is 30. So I'll say 30th. These people, it's updated. Okay, this record is updated. This, like these two records, I'll just put it in our source staging table. Okay, just take this, keep it here, and save it. One more thing, why it is too many spaces here? Just put only one space. Just save it. So you have all these records. So out of these two, current data is we have, yeah, you just compare These are the 1, 2, 3. Sorry, so just ignore surrogate key. You need to focus on customer ID. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 records we have, out of which from source you are getting 5th record. So meaning, what is the common record here? What is the common record? You have to be active, friends. Okay, we know what is the common records here between source and destination, dimension and incremental data. What is the common record?
5, sir.
5. So what is the new record here?
6.
6. Good. Now what is the max key, max surrogate key we have in this dimension table? Please be mute if you have any like background noise. So what is the max surrogate key here? Tell me what is
5.
the max? Okay, 5. Okay, with this, now come to data flows. Okay, I'll just show you. Will it work or not? Come to yes, here only. Let's say click on this, go to data flows. We'll see we are getting the max key as 5 or not. Come here. Let's refresh this. So I just execute only the transformations which are important. Okay, I will not execute everything. What is the max value we are getting? 5. So that fifth one, the value 5 I am just caching. I am keeping in a memory. Okay. Now you know incremental data and you know this data. Let's go to join and let me just do the refresh. Okay, because this join is important because renaming all other things, you know. See 5 and 6. Can you check what is the like common record here? 5. 5 is the common record, isn't it? 5 is the common record. When you say, see, I'm just explaining. Okay, see, I'm just explaining. Here, you need to tell me, is null of dim underscore cust id. What I will get here? If I use this condition, which record I will get from these two? Is it a second record? Is it a 5th record? Which record I will get? Tell me. Is null means wherever dim cust id is null, that record I will get. I will get this record or this record. Tell me now. Vinod, you need to tell. Which record will you?
Null record.
Very good. So second record I will get. Okay, please go mute immediately. Okay, fine. So this is the second record I'm going to get. Now what I need to do, this behavior I need to change it. This behavior I need to change it. Now if I use this, I will get a null value. Okay. Next, I will say is the null of dim custody. If this condition is true, then I will get this. Okay, null. If this condition, I will make it as a false now. How you will make it as a false is not if you put the entire condition, it will go as a reverse. Now you are saying it will get a null because the condition is met, because it's a overall condition is true. But what you are doing, even though it's a null, internally it will return true, but you are finally you are getting a condition is false. Okay, condition is false means wherever is not null, that record you will get. That's why when you use this condition, you are getting matching records. Okay, you are getting matching records. Whenever you use this, you are getting a unmatched records. You understood? This the unmatched records because it will give null records. But I'm saying except null. So not means just you are reversing the condition. Except null values, I want everything. Not Meaning except null everything means only matching record you will get it. You understood Vinod this one now?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's clear? Nagraj clear? Rest of the people, everybody, Parmesh, Chaitanya, Manohar,
Yes.
Bharat. Okay, fine. This is important one. That's why I have explained. Now you know how I have applied. See, matching records to get matching records, I have applied that exact filter, not is null dim city. Dim city, or if you want to use a dim custody, that is also fine, because the right side entire data will be a custody. If you want to use, you can use. You can just use that. Okay, you can use any of that column. Okay, there is no issue. Come here. This side you check what condition you have used. Dim custody is null. So null means only the new records. Null means only new records will come. For those new records, I'm just giving the surrogate key. Again, I'm just starting the surrogate key from 1. Okay, 1. So now for this new record, what is the surrogate key it will generate? This is important. Again, please tell me. What is the surrogate key it will generate for this new record? Let's go and data preview and refresh this once to see that. It is going to give you 1. It is going to give you 1. But I want to change that behavior, because I should not give the 1 to this particular my 6th record. Instead of that, I need to give them my surrogate key as 6 for this, isn't it? I need to give the surrogate key 6 for this. But how you can do that? So for that, I am using a derive column to do some aggregation. What I'm doing, max key I'm taking. For that max key, I'm adding the surrogate key. Max key is 5. 5 plus 1, it will be 6. 6 I'm adding to this. See now, surrogate key value is 1. You understood? So this 1, it should not be 1 for this new record. What value you need to generate for surrogate key? I need to generate a 6. I will generate. So I have said here. So this case statement I have written basically to make sure first time you'll get a null value in this cached output. Okay, but now 1 second, I need to just minimize this. Yeah, then you will be able to see this. Yeah, see now. So currently this is a not null. This is a not a null value. It is having some data. Okay.
Malaya?
See, yes.
Yeah, is it possible to generate surrogate key by order, like custody 1, surrogate key 1, like that?
That's what I mentioned. You can do that. That is very easy. I will explain you. See here,
No.
this output dot max value, it's not a null. Now, if it is a null, you will get a 0. If it is a not null, it will just give the whatever value you have. What is the max value now? It's a 5. What is the surrogate key? Currently you are getting 1. 5 plus 1 is how much? 6. So overall, I'm assigning 6 to my current surrogate key for the new records. In this flow, you are getting new records. Now I got the surrogate key value is 6. I renamed some of the columns, you know, from here. So renamed some columns here, and you are unioning, altering, and loading as an upsert into my sink. Let's come here. Yeah, now he is asking one more question, how to generate those things, right? Now you see here, surrogate key. Okay, before you generate surrogate key, you have a records here. All records will come here. What you need to do, you need to use a sort, because what happens is if the records are coming in a some descending order, let's say 4 3 5 1, something like that. So surrogate key will give, it does not know. So you are not saying in this order you ascend, right? So that's why it will just say for 4th record surrogate key 1, 5th record surrogate key 2, first record it will give surrogate key 3. So if you use sort here, so data will be in a sorting order. So based on the customer 1 2 3 4 is there. So surrogate key also it will generate 1 2 3 4 in same order. Okay, Murli?
Yes,
Now,
Malaya.
okay. Now it is still running. Refresh this. It is already succeeded, right? Previously. Yes, it is previously succeeded. Now, yeah. So I don't need to do anything. Let's go back here and check once again. Dim underscore cast. You don't have 6th record. You see here, you don't have any 6th record, and 5th record is basically it's a Mumbai. Now we'll go and run this particular pipeline once again. It has created the job ID. Let's refresh this. You click on this to see whether it is, yes, it is already succeeded. The status is succeeded. Now go and run it. Now you see sixth record came, and for sixth record you are getting surrogate key 6. The reason is you don't have other records to go in a descending order, some mismatching order. Now only one record, so max key it has to generate a 6. It has generated 6 and it has given. Okay. Now fifth record you see from Mumbai to Pune. It became from Mumbai to Pune. This is how you are going to update. Like this is how you are going to implement SCD1 with a surrogate key. Okay, clear. Everybody's clear, friends?
Yes, Malaya.
That's all for today. Thank you.